Good morning, students. Today in this video lecture, we are going to start the fourth chapter of literature, that is Bipin Chaudhary's Lapse of Memory. Forgetfulness often puts you in a tight spot, but forgetting a part of your life completely may drive you crazy. This chapter is based on an incident of Bipin Babu's life. Bipin Babu is the lead character of the story, where he was getting crazy to know that he has just missed or has forgotten a part of his life. He cannot recollect his stay at Ranchi. Yes, you have heard correctly. It's Ranchi. It's about Ranchi, your own city. He has never been to Ranchi. But few peoples are there who were trying their best to recall his stay in Ranchi. So, there are many witnesses. So, what is the suspense all about? We are going to know in this story. So, I'm starting the story. Every Monday, on his way back from work, Bipin Chaudhary would drop in at Kali Charan's in New Market to buy books. Crime stories, ghost stories and thrillers. He had to buy at least 5 at a time to last him through the week. He lived alone, was not a good mixer, had few friends and did not like spending time in idle chat. So Bipin Babu was a book lover. Every Monday, coming back from work, he was getting down at Kali Charan's New Market to buy some books. At least he is buying 5 books at a time for spending the whole week. And why he is like this? Because he was not a very good mixer. He was living alone and he didn't like to spend much time in chatting with friends. So, in this condition, he made the books his best friends. Today at Kali Charan's, Bipin Babu had the feeling that someone was observing him from close quarters. He turned round and found himself looking at a round-faced, meek-looking man who now broke into a smile. "I don't suppose you recognize me. Have we met before?" asked Bipin Babu. The man looked greatly surprised. "We met every day for a whole week. I arranged for a car to take you to the Hundru Falls." So, as usual, he was purchasing the books in the shop, but that day he has just felt that someone was observing him. When he turned, he saw there was a man standing, and when they had the eye contact, the man smiled. And the man asked, "I don't suppose you recognize me." Just say that the man was saying that, "I don't think that you have recognized me." Bipin Babu was so surprised to see the man speaking like that. He said that, "Have we met before?" Because he was really not recognizing him. The man was so astonished to listen Bipin Babu like this. The man said that, "Yes, we met, and I was the only one who was arranged a car for the whole week. We were together for a whole week, and in that tour, I have arranged a car for you to take you to the Hundru Falls." In 1958, in Ranchi, "My name is Parimal Ghosh." The man said that, "Yes, we met before. We were together for the whole week, and I have arranged a car for you to go to the Hundru Falls in 1958 in Ranchi." And then he told his name, that "My name is Parimal Ghosh." Ranchi? Now Bipin Babu realized that it was not he but this man who was making a mistake. Bipin Babu had never been to Ranchi. He had been at the point of going several times but never made it. He smiled and said, "Do you know who I am?" The man raised his eyebrows, bit his tongue and said, "Do I know you? Who doesn't know Bipin Chaudhary?" Bipin Babu now turned towards the bookshelves and said, "Still you are making a mistake. One often does. I have never been to Ranchi." The man now laughed aloud. "What are you saying, Mr. Chaudhary? You had a fall in Hundru and cut your right knee. I brought you iodine. I had fixed up a car for you to go to Netherhart the next day. But you couldn't because of the pain in the knee. Can't you recall anything? Someone else you know was also in Ranchi at that time, Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee. You stayed in a bungalow. You said you didn't like hotel food and would prefer to have your meals cooked by a bawarchi. So the man was, when he said Ranchi, now Bipin Babu get very assured that now he is not doing the mistake, the man is doing the mistake in recognizing him. So he simply said that I have never been in Ranchi, because he just answered that I was never being Ranchi. Also, I had thought of going many times, but I haven't got time to visit Ranchi. So he just said, "Do you know? Do you really know me?" The man just bit his tongue and said that who don't know Bipin Chaudhary. Bipin Babu again turned toward the bookshelves and said that still you are making a mistake. I have never been to Ranchi. Then the man, Parimal Ghosh, started laughing and he said that might be you don't remember, but you went to Hundru. There you have fallen down and you have got cut mark in your right knee. Next day I have brought iodine also for that. And next day you were about to go to Netherhart. I have arranged the car for that, but because of the knee pain you were not able to go. So you can also ask the man. Another man was also there with you that time, and it was Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee. You people stayed in the bungalow because you told me that you don't like the restaurant food and you would prefer to have your meals cooked by a bawarchi. So for that you have not stayed in the hotel, you stayed in a bungalow. Mr. Mukherjee stayed with his sister. You had a big argument about the moon landing. Remember? I will tell you more. You always carried a bag with your books in it on your sightseeing trips. Am I right or not? So he was saying that Mr. Dinesh Mukherjee was staying with his sister, and there in the bungalow only you stayed with them, and definitely there were talks on different topics. So you were having an argument with Dinesh Mukherjee on moon landing, and I can tell you more about yourself. You always carry a bag with your books wherever you are going on your sightseeing trips. Am I right or not? So he has given much details about the trip and about his habits also. Bipin Babu spoke quietly, his eyes still on the books. Which month in 58 are you talking about? The man said October. No sir, said Bipin Babu. I spent puja in 58 with a friend in Kanpur. You are making a mistake. Good day. But the man did not go, nor did he stop talking. So Bipin Babu just heard all thing, and he asked the man that about which month in 1958 you are talking about. He said October. Now he became very sure that no, this man is making mistake. He said, no sir, in October 58 I spent the puja holidays with my friend in Kanpur. I was not in Ranchi. And then he said good day to the man, but the man hasn't stopped saying that about the trip of Ranchi. Very strange. One evening I had tea with you in a veranda of your bungalow. You spoke about your family. You said you had no children and that you had lost your wife 10 years ago. Your only brother had died insane, which is why you didn't want to visit the mental hospital in Ranchi. When Bipin Babu had paid for the books and was leaving the shop, the man was still looking at him in utter disbelief. The man said, very strange that you didn't remember anything, but I must tell you that one evening I was having a chai in the veranda. I was having the tea in the veranda of your bungalow, and there you have told about your family to me. You have told that you lost your wife 10 years ago, you had no children, and your brother got insane. So you didn't like to visit the mental hospital in Ranchi. So all these very personal things, very personal opinions he was telling to Bipin Babu. But Bipin Babu didn't stop listening all these things, and he just paid the books and left the shop. And the man was looking at him in utter disbelief. He was not believing that how could Bipin Babu has forgot all these things. Bipin Babu's car was safely parked in Bertram Street by the Lighthouse Cinema. He told the driver as he got into the car, "Just drive by the Ganga. Will you, Sitaram?" Driving up the Strand Road, Bipin Babu regretted having paid so much attention to the intruder. He had never been to Ranchi. No question about it. It was inconceivable that he should forget such an incident which took place only 6 or 7 years ago. He had an excellent memory, unless Bipin Babu's head reeled. So, after taking the books, he told the driver Sitaram to take him to near the Ganga, and he was regretting why he has listened too much of that intruder, that strange person. He was very much sure that he had never been Ranchi, and he can't forget such an incident which has just happened 6 or 7 years ago. So he was very much sure that the intruder was mistaken. He was talking about someone else. But thinking about all these things, because of all that thinking, his head was paining. Was he losing his mind? But how could that be? He was working daily in his office. It was a big firm and he was doing a responsible job. He wasn't aware of anything ever going seriously wrong. Only today he spoke for half an hour at an important meeting, and yet the man knew a great deal about him. How? So here Bipin Babu was just thinking about himself, that how can it be possible that I can forget such an important incident of my life. Still, at this age also, I am working in the office. I am going daily there. It was a big firm, and there also I didn't do any mistakes because of my memory lapse, and everything was going very fine. And suddenly, when he was thinking all about that, again the man came in his mind. Again he started thinking about that man, and he thought that the man was knowing so many things about him. How it can be possible? How a strange person, an intruder, can know such personal things about me? He even seemed to know some intimate details. The bag of books, wife's death, brother's insanity. The only mistake was about his having gone to Ranchi. Not a mistake, a deliberate lie. In 58, during the pujas, he was in Kanpur at his friend Haridas Bagchi's place. All Bipin Babu had to do was write to. No, there was no way of writing to Haridas. Bipin Babu suddenly remembered that Haridas had left with his wife for Japan some weeks ago, and he did not have his address. So he was thinking that this man was knowing much about me, and about his wife's death, about the bag of books, about his brother's insanity. Everything was true, except visiting Ranchi. So might be he was not doing mistake, might be he is telling lie. So he was very sure that in 1958 October he was in Kanpur at his friend's house. His friend's name was Haridas Bagchi. So he thought that I should write a letter to Haridas and ask about that. But suddenly he recognized that Haridas has left India with his wife a few weeks ago only, and there is no need to write a letter to him. But where was the need for proof? He himself was fully aware that it hadn't been to Ranchi, and that was that. He thought that why I am thinking of the proof to write a letter to Haridas and ask to him that I was there in Kanpur or not. Why there is a need of proof? I am saying that I was not visited Ranchi that time. I was in Kanpur. So that is it. I don't need any proof. The river breeze was bracing, and yet a slight discomfort lingered in Bipin Babu's mind. Around Hastings, Bipin Babu decided to roll up his trousers and take a look at his right knee. So he was thinking, just enjoying the river breeze, And suddenly one thing came in his mind, that the person told about a cut mark in his right knee. So he thought to see the right knee. He pulled up the trousers up to the knee, and what he saw? There was a mark of an old inch-long cut. It was impossible to tell when the injury had occurred. So there was a mark. There was a mark in his right knee, and it was a long cut, and it is very much impossible for Bipin to recognize when it has happened. Had he never had a fall as a boy and cut his knee? He tried to recall such an incident but couldn't. Then Bipin Babu suddenly thought of Dinesh Mukherjee. The man had said that Dinesh was in Ranchi at the same time. The best thing surely would be to ask him. He lived quite near, in Beninandan Street. What about going right now? But then, if he had really never been to Ranchi, what would Dinesh think if Bipin Babu asked for a confirmation? He would probably conclude Bipin Babu was going nuts. No, it would be ridiculous to ask him. And he knew how ruthless Dinesh's sarcasm could be. So he thought of, now that he has got another proof that he has a cut mark in his right knee, and he tried to recall that might be in childhood I have fallen and I have got a cut here, but he was not able to recognize any of the incident like that. Then another thing strike on his mind, that the man has taken the name of Dinesh Mukherjee, that Dinesh Mukherjee was also there with you in Ranchi that time. So he thought that I should call Dinesh Mukherjee, and because he was living next to the street, he thought that I would ask. But he know that Dinesh was very much eager to make fun of his friends. He's very sarcastic. He make fun of these kind of things. So he was having the fear also that if I would ask him, and suppose I will be proved correct that I have never been in Ranchi, then what Dinesh would think about me. So then he just dropped that idea. But the confusion was going on in his mind. Sipping a cold drink in his air-conditioned living room, Bipin Babu felt at ease again. Now he came back at home and he was sipping a cold drink in his air-conditioned living room. Such a nuisance. Just because they have nothing else to do, they go about getting into other people's hair. After dinner, snuggling in bed with one of the new thrillers, Bipin Babu forgot all about the man in Newmarket. So he just stopped thinking on that. He just thought that these kind of persons are nothing have to do with their own life, so they're just getting into others' matter. So after dinner, he has just picked up one of the thriller book, and he almost forgot everything about that man and the incident happened in the Newmarket. Next day in the office, Bipin Babu noticed that with every passing hour, the previous day's encounter was occupying more and more of his mind. If the man knew so much about Bipin Babu, how could he make such a mistake about the Ranchi trip? Just before lunch, Bipin Babu decided to ring up Dinesh Mukherjee. It was better to settle the question over the phone. At least the embarrassment on his face wouldn't show. 235616. Bipin Babu dialed the number. So next day also, when he was working in the office, the same incident just was moving in his head, and finally he decided to call Dinesh Mukherjee to settle up the confusion. So he dialed and start talking to Dinesh. Hello, is that Dinesh? This is Bipin here. Well, what's the news? I just wanted to find out if you recalled an incident which took place in 58. 58? What incident? Were you in Calcutta right through that year? That's the first thing I have got to know. Wait, just a minute. 58. Just let me check in my diary. For a minute there was silence. Bipin Babu could feel that his heartbeat had gone up. He was sweating a little. So he asked on phone that, have you recalled that in 58 where I was? First he said Kolkata, but then he said that wait, I have to look in my diary because I am noting down everything. So I must note it down. Where were you in 1958 in October? And the time when he went to bring the diary, that few minutes, you can say few seconds, were so tensed for Bipin Babu. He was just, the silence was almost killing Bipin Babu. Hello, yes, I have got it. I had been out twice. Where? Once in February, nearly to Krishnanagar to a nephew's wedding. So, Dinesh was talking about his own trips of 58. So, he said that once in February 1958, he went to Krishnanagar to attend his nephew's wedding. And then, but you would know about this one, the trip to Ranchi. You were there too, that's all. But what's all this sleuthing about? The next trip he has mentioned in October 1958 of Ranchi. And in very easy way he was saying that you would know all about this because you were also there in Ranchi with me. Bipin Babu slammed the receiver down and gripped his head with his hands. He felt his head swimming. A chill seemed to spread over his body. There were sandwiches in his tiffin box, but he didn't eat them. He had lost his appetite. So after listening that in 1958 October he was in Ranchi, his head was started moving and he just slammed the receiver down and gripped his head with his hands. He was feeling that his head was swimming, his whole body was shivering, and he was definitely not having the appetite. This is it for this video lecture. I have discussed only the half part of the story in this video lecture. The next two parts, that is third and fourth, I'll discuss in the next video lecture. As you can see, in this half part, you are having two comprehension checks. Few questions are there. So with the word meanings, these two comprehension checks you will write in your literature copy. Thank you everyone. Stay home, stay safe. Goodbye.